Welcome to the project demonstration of soil moisture sensor and temperature based automatic irrigation motor controlling system. So here we are going to controlling the motor based on the two inputs. One is the temperature should be normal condition and moisture sensor should provide us the low water level, means low moisture sensor levels in the soil. So based on these two inputs we are going to control this water pumping motor by using this electromagnetic relay. So here the moisture sensor is to detect the soil moisture level inside the soil, and based on the low moisture level we are going to on the motor at the same time. So the sensor will give the input to the controller based on the moisture levels, but till low moisture level the motor gets switched on, and if there is no water inside the well also, then the motor will run in a dry conditions, which that's called the dry run. So in order to detect that, we'll make use of a temperature sensor. When the motor is dry run or heavy load placed on this motor, then the motor coils will get temperature will be increased. So in order to detect that, we are going to use temperature sensor of DS18B20. Is a waterproof sensor. So why? Because we are going to place this inside a motor, then we should provide the protection for the sensor. So we are going to place that inside the motor, and when it is dry running or heavy load was there on the motor, then the coils and the motor body will get heat up, and based on that temperature limit the controller will take a decision to off the motor to protect that. So we have interfaced this DS18B20 temperature sensor at A4 pin and moisture sensor at A0 pin. To control the motor, this electromagnetic relay interfaces with the C7 pin. So the whole system getting power supply from this regulated power supply board. So we are providing 230 volts AC input to this regulated power supply board, and parallelly same 230 volts AC is input to the motor through this electromagnetic relay. So here this will act as a switch to control the motor. So this regulated power supply board will take 230 volts AC input and provide us the 5 volts DC output. So it has the 4 stages: transformation and rectification, filtration and regulation. So transformation to step down the 230 volts AC to 12 volts AC, rectification to convert the 12 volts AC to pulsating DC, and filtration to remove the pulses to get the pure 12 volts DC. But the operating voltage for our microcontroller and input sensors is a 5 volt. So in order to regulate that 5 volts, we are making use of a 7805 regulator on this board, so which will take 12 volts DC and provide us a 5 volts constant DC output. When we provide that, the system consists of the motherboard and microcontroller. So it start reading input from the two sensors. So based on the normal conditions from these two sensors, the system will on the motor, means low moisture level and low temperature, motor will get switched on. If high moisture or high temperature, then the motor will get switched off through this electromagnetic relay. So coming to this blue board, so which is the amplifier. So when we place this inside a soil or a water tank, if the water presents, the conductivity between these two electrodes will be increased. So as we know that whenever the conductivity increases, then parallelly the voltage also will be increases to the microcontroller. So in order to convert that and amplify that, we are making use of this operational amplifier, so which will amplify the input voltage from this electrodes and provide as a digital output to the microcontroller directly. So let us see the demonstration. While demonstration, please secure about the water tanker and all. The water should not fall on this motherboard. Right. So when we on the motherboard, then right, low water level, so the motor got switched on, as we can see that. And whenever the moisture level detects, so we can see another light will get switched on this soil moisture sensor as a low water level. So the pumping will be off. Right, this pumping is happening one. So whenever the temperature increases, let us increase the temperature. For this one we can use a lighter or any matchbox to increase the temperature. So we can see that parallelly the relay has a LED indication which will show the status of the relay and the motor. Water level is low but temperature is high, that's why the motor is in off state only. So whenever the temperature is coming to normal again, then it will check with the two conditions again. So water level should be low and temperature should be low. Then only the motor will get switched on by using this electromagnetic relay. So we set the temperature for 40 degrees centigrade. That is the threshold value for this one. Right. It is normal again. System is pumping the water. So while demonstrating, please take care of the water should not fall on the cage. Right.